You can make all the swing changes in the world, but how do you actually play golf? How do you make sure that each time you step on the golf course, you're getting the most out of each and every round of golf you play? Well, that's what we're doing today. We're with Matt on the golf course, so let's jump onto the tee. So just talk to me a little bit about your game. You've got a handicap, or what kind of level are you playing to?
Yeah, so I'm about 28 handicap. I've only been playing for about a year.
Okay.
Had the winter off.
Good, don't blame you.
Yeah, a little rusty. Yeah, just getting back into it for the summer.
So we're going to play a few holes, jump out there, find some different scenarios, watch you hit a few shots. I'm going to jump in, give you some instruction, and I think we can do some good work for you. So your flag there is 76. So if I said to you 76, what are you thinking in terms of sort of club and?
Yeah, soft to mid-range 54 I've got.
Okay. So I reckon we're looking at 76, probably playing 80.
Right.
But it's also a little uphill. Go 54 and see how we get on. Off the back. Right, let's grab another ball, and I want you to grab one less than that, which is pitching wedge. Yeah, get another ball and grab pitching wedge. I'm seeing this as kind of less than a full shot. Okay, there's nothing between you and the flag other than this fairway, and it goes up a little bit. So one of the things I've noticed on the couple of holes that you play is that you tend to be, with your sort of pitch shots, quite wristy.
Yeah. Sure.
And with that, you don't tend to have enough weight forwards. So what that would suggest to me is that you're going to struggle with strike, which you did on that, but when you catch it, you're going to be sending it pretty high, which means that then 54 hit really hard possibly doesn't even get there.
Yeah.
So we've got less loft. I want you to have the ball in the middle of your heels, and then I want you to, in your practice swings, I want you to be really focused on landing the club. I basically want more weight forwards, and I want later ground contact. Right, step in, weight forwards, confident, okay? Be really confident. Think you're going to thump the ground. But as long as you thump the ground here, you're going to be absolutely fine. So much better, so much better. So just looking at Matt's technique there, because he didn't have the weight enough forwards and he was a little bit back with his body, any ground contact that he had would likely have been before the ball, which is not going to give great results. So if you look at his practice swings, his actual swing, he was very reluctant to hit the ground. And the reason for that is because he had his weight too far back. Anytime he hit the ground, it was always a terrible result. So one thing is getting the weight forward, but then for him, it's actually a bit more of a mental battle, because even with his weight forward, he was still quite reluctant to hit the ground. So for him, it's a case of getting his weight forward and then really having the confidence to sort of strike the ball or strike the ground after the ball. Right. How are you thinking this? Club you've got?
I got 60.
60, okay. Okay, go ahead and hit it, and then we'll go through, you know, a little bit of theory and stuff, but just do what you would normally do so I can see kind of what your normal technique is like. I don't think you could have hit that any better. So you look at the situation you're in here, you're on a slight downslope, not huge, but you're on a slight downslope. That's going to make the ball come out a little lower.
Right.
You're in rough, which means that you can't really put any spin on the golf ball. I know that's not something you're trying to actively do, but there is spin on the ball. Downhill, landing on a downslope, green runs away. Okay, so if I took this golf ball and threw it on a fairly looping flight and landed it on the green, and that was short the green, even that's going past. So for you to get this ball up in the air, landing and topping by the flag is almost impossible. The shot you've hit is almost kind of perfect. Right. So the first thing you'd have to do here is manage your expectations. If I gave you that club, which has got less loft, that's 52 degrees. Okay. If we can't go through the air and get a really good result, which I don't think we can, it's safer to go along the ground. Okay. And this time, I want you to bring your front foot to where this club is. So you're going to bring your front foot forward and your back foot closer to it. So you've now got 52 degrees, which is less loft, and you've got weight forward. So we're expecting this ball to come out super low. I don't think you'll get a better result than one you've hit, but I think if we gave you 100 shots, this would get you on the green more often than not. Yeah, good. Played it really well. Okay. Now you carried it a little bit far, and you're still putting, which is great. Now you've hit 2 shots, both on the green, both are really good. Okay. I personally, for you, would be happy with both of those, but I think that method, giving you 100 opportunities, would probably give you a better result. Sure. But you know what you've got there is you've got options, because you've got a shot you hit, a shot we've given you. If you've got options, then that's how you become better. That's good. Pretty good. In terms of picking targets, far too many people look at the fairway and think middle of the fairway, which would make a lot of sense. But the reality is, you want to be looking at the real trouble, like where you're going to lose your ball. You know, these long ferns here, and actually going, where are they on the right, where are they on the left, and picking the midpoint. That's the safest way, because you don't mind being 10 yards in the rough if you've got your ball. You know, so not always middle of the fairway. Sometimes middle of the trouble is a better option. So this is obviously your your 3-wood. So you said that you hit a couple of shots low. We're going to see here a few things why. Ball position is a little bit too close to the middle of your stance. Okay, for that club, especially when it's teed up, we'd like it a little bit further forward. Right. So if you look at that face on, you can see that the hands are slightly ahead. There's a little bit of club shaft lean. And then as you make your sort of move into your backswing, you don't load well enough into your right side. Okay, so now I want you to bring your left foot much closer to the alignment stick. There you go, perfect. Right foot a bit wider, keep going, there you go. Okay, and I want you to feel like you're centered with your weight. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So straight away, what you did then was you tried to get yourself back in line with that golf ball, which is where you've been before. Okay, so you're going to be more in this area here. And then I want you to make me a backswing where you feel like your lead shoulder would hit my finger. See how it's away from it? Yeah. So you've got to get more, there we go.
Bring it across.
Yeah, more there. Better, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, feel that? Okay, right there. You actually caught the ground slightly before the ball, which is a much better sign, okay? Because on the one that you hit previously, you hit down on it, which is why it popped up into the air, okay? Right, yeah, good shot, mate. Really good. That's all right, gonna work out fine. So let's go ahead and do what we did before. So you're gonna go set up just inside the ball, wait a bit more on your lead side, and just rehearse some swings where you land the club target side of the ball, okay? Look at your swing here, okay, really good there. And then as you go through, I would love to see this a little bit wider and a bit more body turn through. So through the ball, you're very much, arms are doing all the work. I want you to feel as if on the way through, you're turning, you're pushing the hips, and you're feeling what we call more structured here. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to swing and stop. Better. There we go. Yeah. When you're in this situation, you think what's between you and the flag, there's nothing there. Yeah. You could putt it, you could take 60, 54, pitch wedge 9, there's almost 6-7 different clubs you could use. But because these fringes are really good, it's just easier to putt. That's really good. It's really good. Okay.
Rolled the wrong way.
Tap that one in. That was good, really good. I mean, from there, you judge the slope pretty well, and you got the pace pretty good. I'm going to make a few adjustments to your putting stroke, and I feel quite guilty now because you just hit a great putt from 20 odd feet with a lot of break. Just tap that one in, and then. I
was robbed.
There you go, tap it in. I'm going to talk a little bit about your grip here. So if you take this hand off, okay, the way that you hold this putter is very similar to as you would hold a 7-9, a driver. We need to hold the putter slightly differently. Okay, so if you open up your hand, okay, I want you to point your fingers at the golf ball. Okay. Now what will happen then is the putter will sit a lot more through the sort of lifeline of your hand here. Okay, so if you try and grab the putter now, okay, notice how your finger can go down the outside. Okay, got a bit of a noise from the machine there, good in the grass. Okay, now if I said to you, hinge your wrist up, you should feel like you haven't got that ability.
It's harder,
okay, because we don't need that in the golf swing. You know, we need it to be more through the lifeline of your hand. What this will also do is it will get your hands higher. Yeah. Okay, because if you open your hand, point your fingers back towards your body, that's where you tend to hold it. You see how the hands go a little lower. Okay, it's fine. So we need to go a little bit more through the lifeline. Okay, and that's going to get your hands a little higher. Okay, when you go this way, it tends to mimic the full swing grip. Okay, so get yourself set up to this one. It's probably a left edge. Well, sorry, pretty straight put this one. Yeah. It changed at the end. Okay, and I want you to get this. That's it. Much more through the lifeline. Yes, you should have this little gap in here. You should feel like your finger could go down the outside. Ooh. Okay, pretty good. Let's read it. Okay, so if I stood here without a putter, and you said to me, put your hands together and simulate a putting stroke, what would I do? I'd go like this, and I'd simulate a putting stroke. So where do my fingers point? Down at where the ball would be. We would never. That's not a natural way to do that. But when you hold the putter, that's where your hand is. And what it's doing is it's encouraging this. It's encouraging wrist action. We want to go a lot more through here. So as close as we can to this position, and then it's going to get your hands higher, and it's going to basically mean that you can just work a little bit more on rocking your shoulders, and that club face can stay a bit more consistent. Yeah. That was better. Yeah. That was a lot better. It went a bit right, but your contact was better. That's your 3-wood feeling, okay? Is basically trying to get this behind it more. And then we're going to give you a couple of different iron feels, because the iron is very different. You want that club sort of working a lot more down to the ground. But that was closer, much better swing. Even though, because you're looking to lay up, you'd be happy with anything on the fairway, I'm assuming. Ideally. Okay, but we want to be quite specific with your target. So it might be a case of picking something on the ground or a tree or a branch, something that's really specific, okay? So I'd be thinking, You've got 2 trees on the left.
Yeah.
Okay, slightly to the right of that, almost where the sort of band of rough sort of comes in. That would be a good line for you. So have that really specific target.
Yeah.
We will wait for this greenkeeper to go,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a target. That might be one of the best ones of it.
Yeah.
Really good. That's perfect. I mean, exactly on your line there. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you tell me exactly where you hit that shot from? You probably couldn't see any
No,
markings.
yeah.
Okay, you might be able
No,
to
I couldn't
recognise
tell
where
you
it's from, but
exactly.
there was no markings.
No.
You had a 7-iron. I've got an 8-iron. So granted, it's a different club. But
Yeah.
if I was to just hit an 8-iron and just sort of, hit one as if I'm sort of laying up, you can definitely see where
Yeah.
I've hit the golf ball from. My golf ball was here and the club's landed there. That's the biggest thing we need to do with your golf swing, okay, is
Yeah.
change how your club interacts with the ground and the attack angle it's coming down at. First thing I would say is if you look at your left hip,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is, I'm not sure it's a flag behind, there's like a little white
Yeah.
mark in the trees. Okay, which way is your hip going relative to the target? So the target is down here as you go through the golf ball, back away from the
Yeah,
target,
yeah.
okay? And if we look at your head position, okay, what's your head doing as you go through the golf ball? It's going back and up.
Yeah, back
okay,
and up.
so your hips are going back, your head is going back,
Yeah.
and so it becomes incredibly difficult for you to actually make contact with the ground. To stop this kind of dipping move, okay, we want to feel that the shoulder goes over the knee, and as you do that, this foot lifts. So that on its own would look something like this, okay?
Yeah.
Now, as I'm doing that, that might actually be a little bit of a shift off the ball. It's fine, it's a drill, it's an exercise, it's not necessarily how you want to swing.
Yeah.
But after that, we're planting the foot and we're landing the club. Now this is going to be a bit like pat your head and rub your tummy, it's kind of trying to coordinate everything. But again, it's a drill, it's not something we're doing on the golf course to play golf. So we go lift, turn, slam and through. Good, okay? Next part is once you've done that, slam it down. And when I say slam it down, I don't mean put the foot down, I mean, like
Jump into
literally
it,
slam
yeah.
it down and thump the ground, okay?
Right.
Lift the foot, slam it down, hit the ground. Okay, I want you to be confident in how much you hit the ground. Better. So straight away we've got more contact probably than you've had
Yeah. all
today.
day, yeah.
That was really good. Okay, go again. Better. Okay, so now the progression from that is to do exactly the same thing but without lifting the foot. Better. There we go. Now we're getting really close.
Yeah.
Feel strange?
A little bit.
Good. We'll have a go down there in the fairway, but that was much better. That last one was really, really
Yeah.
good. Excellent. You've got to hit the shot
Right.
with a divot.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
I
the
actually don't
challenge.
mind if that divot is in the wrong place.
All
Okay,
right.
we've got to get you into this mindset of hitting the ground
Yep.
is a good thing. Okay, if we can get you to hit the ground, then it can just be a case of figuring out how we get that in the right place relative to the ball.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it. Oh, there we go. That's the best one you've hit by far.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. I mean, we've got contact now.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
There's no divot, but we've got contact. Okay, and we're on the golf course. It's difficult on the golf course, but that's probably the best quality of shot you've hit in terms of strike and
Definitely,
flight
yeah.
and distance, and
Yeah.
it's on the middle of the green. And you